Hello everyone and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the machinima at the start of the episode. I worked so hard on it and I'm sorry it's probably not very good. It's my first machinima ever. And I'm sure there's a lot of things I could have done better or differently. But it took me so long and I'm fairly happy with the results. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Basically, I wanted to show a little bit more of Agneta and some developments in her life. And we will go visit her later and talk more about that later. But let's just get into it because I am excited to play with our main household. I haven't been able to really play in several weeks, so I am refamiliarizing myself with everything going on. Mari is pregnant again, so she's in her second trimester, I guess first trimester. She looks pretty big for first trimester. But she is pregnant again. Ooh, she and Richard are making out in the goat pen. So they're gonna have a baby soon. And let's see. Brigit, I want her to get up. So let's have everyone make or eat some soup. Why is Peter taking out a bunch of flour? I do not know what he is doing. Let's have him grab some soup instead. I want Brigit to get into knitting because she has this Lady of the Knits aspiration. So I did get her a knitting kit. So let's have her knit some clothing. Let's do animal clothing. These are all for, oh, chickens? Okay, so we can do some for chickens. So let's do earthy tones since that's more of a natural color. So she can do that. Brigit is torn between two suitors. So Aidan Gallagher and what's his name again? Ezekiel Sastari. So we will see what happens with that later in the episode. But I think today, after Richard can use the restroom, I want to go visit Thomas, so the youngest brother, because he has been staying with the shepherd and the shepherd's daughter in the fields for probably a couple of years now, maybe a year and a half. And I think Richard is starting to feel like maybe he should come home. So Richard is gonna go visit soon. He did give permission to Thomas to stay with the shepherd for a while, but I think Richard definitely feels responsible for his younger brother and would not really want, like, his brother to be away from his like caretaking for too long. We will go visit him in a bit. Mari is having a nice little rest here. Someone needs to check on the chickens. So let's have Peter do that. Let's clean the coop, collect eggs. So hopefully we get some hatchable eggs soon. Brigit, how's that knitting going? Oh, she did it! So can we give it to someone? Dress Fluff in the outfit. Oh, cute! Well, Fluff is a very handsome chicken now. What a cutie. Okay, no hatchable eggs today. Put these eggs away before we forget. And sell the fertilizer. Alright, and let's head over to the shepherd fields to see how Thomas is doing. Okay, Richard has arrived at the shepherd's hut, which is their temporary home in the fields while they are tending to their sheep in the summer. Here is Thomas, so let's give some family advice to him. Basically tell him it's probably about time you come home with us. Let's see, let's ask how Thomas is doing. And let's teach him about responsibility. Let him know that he has work to do at home with the farm and family at home. Let's have a deep conversation. Thomas is going to agree that family is very important, and he's going to tell Richard that essentially his family is here. Like, he feels like Constance and her father have really become his family, and he wants to marry Constance. So Richard is a little skeptical of this, but he's open to discussing it. Let's have a deep personal conversation about this decision. Richard's gonna tell Thomas that he is still very young and maybe he doesn't know exactly what he wants. But Thomas is like, no, I know what I want. This has been the thing in my life that has given the most meaning. He is so confident about this decision, and Richard, it looks like, is very inspired by this thought. So Richard is kind of like, if you want to stay here, get married to Constance, you need to commit to it, and you need to marry her. And Thomas is going to say, okay, perfect, that's exactly what I want. So that means Richard's going to need to have a conversation with Osbert. So let's open up with some flattery. Because he's not sure how Osbert is going to feel about marrying off his only daughter. Richard is going to express gratitude to Osbert for allowing his brother Thomas to live with them for so long. And he's gonna propose a crazy scheme and kind of imply that maybe Thomas should become his son, so to speak, permanently. Like, imply that he could be his son-in-law and effectively his son, and Thomas could take over the kind of shepherd craft. And Osbert's like, I need to think about that. I think he understood the hint, but was not super welcoming, it looks like. Let's go play with the doggy for a bit. While we're here. Feed the doggy. All these sheep are so happy. That's good to see. So now that Osbert has eaten, let's just have a deep conversation, and then let's try to arrange the marriage. See how it goes. Okay, arrange future marriage for Thomas to Constance. And it looks like he accepted, so Osbert was okay with that. The sheep love it. So Thomas and Constance are now engaged. So Richard is going to share that information with Thomas. So in-game, Thomas and Constance are now engaged. I'm gonna say that they elope fairly quickly, so I'm going to say that effectively they are married from now on. I don't know how to get rid of this guy who's in his swimsuit. But I'm gonna have Thomas and Constance get married basically off camera, because I can't actually get them married because they're teens still. But they are going to be married now. And so Thomas is going to start taking on the craft of shepherddom, which he already has been for quite a while. Thomas will have a place to live and basically a trade to take on, and now a wife as well. So that is very exciting. And Richard should head on home because it is getting late. It is now the next day, and Peter has collected a ton of milk from the goats, and Aldreda's making some nice Scotch eggs for everyone. So let's have everyone get some breakfast. Aldreda has eggs in one hand and milk in the other. Okay, she put her milk down to have the bite of egg. Richard's taking a seat on the floor. Brigit just peed herself. Let's do a bubble bath for Brigit because she was feeling ill for a while. Looks like she's a little better now. But she could still use a nice bath. Okay, Richard and Murray have a close dynamic. That is amazing. So they have gotten closer as they've gotten deeper into their marriage. So today I want to do a little experiment. Since Brigit has interest in 2 suitors, I want her and Richard to go with the suitors on like kind of a date, but not really a date. More like I want to see which of the suitors has more interest in Brigit, and so Richard will be kind of sussing out which of the men might be a better match for his sister, and like in terms of status, I think they're about the same. Like both men are going to be the heir to their households. I do think the Gallaghers are a little bit richer. They're all kind of in the same general class. Aiden is also Mari's brother, so that might be a little weird. So maybe Ezekiel would make more sense in that regard. But either way, I think would be fine. Okay, so Richard has invited both men and his sister to the market as kind of a group outing, because he wants to get to know Brigit's friends a little bit better. So he wants to make sure that he talks to both of them and gets to know them. It looks like he hasn't met Aiden, although he definitely would have because that's his brother-in-law. Let's teach Ezekiel about responsibility. Richard, I think, is trying to be a little intimidating in the sense of like he wants Ezekiel and Aiden to know that they need to treat his sister with respect, that he is around in case anything ever happens to her. Ezekiel is embarrassed, so I think he's not loving the situation. Let's talk to Aiden. Aiden is tense. He knows Richard is here overseeing any potential relationship with Brigit. He's probably a little intimidated. He probably looks up to Richard a little bit and definitely wants to keep on his good side so that the relationship between their households stays good. Let's give Aiden a pep talk since he is so tense right now. Where's Brigit at? Oh, she and Ezekiel are hanging out. Okay, they should not be alone though. So let's head outside. But they were totally just talking. Okay, it looks like Ezekiel keeps going into the bathroom to like talk in the mirror. Guess he's getting out any tension that he has. Bridget's just hanging out. I don't want to like make her talk to anyone, so I'm just curious Oh, Ezekiel's trying to talk to her again. Let's invite Ezekiel into the conversation with Richard. Maybe he'll tell about his own wedding story just to kind of try to get a reaction. Ezekiel hated that. Or no, that wasn't to the wedding story. That was to some other interaction. Okay, now he's talking about his wedding. See, no reaction to that. Not getting a lot from these boys. So, let's see. Brigit wants to cloud gaze with Aiden and ask Ezekiel out. Okay, Brigit and Aiden are going to cloud gaze. If he wants to. No, he walked away. Oh, that's sad. Is Ezekiel leaving too? Okay, well, I don't feel like we learned a lot from that. Let's check on their relationships. So, Richard is acquaintances with both. He has a little more relationship with Aiden. And Brigit looks like she's about the same. Like, she and Aiden are just friends, and she has a little crush on Ezekiel. She's also smitten with him. Let's have Richard ask her how she feels. So, how do you feel about Aiden? Okay, she feels good about him. She says he's pretty cool. And let's ask about Ezekiel. Okay, and she had the exact same response. So she is either not super swayed one way or the other, or she is keeping that kind of secret to herself. So I still don't feel like we have a great answer. She has a crush on Ezekiel. They have a little romance. There's definitely a little bit more there. I just feel like she's kind of equally friends with both of them though, so that makes it hard. And she's definitely known Aiden a bit longer than Ezekiel. She's only known Ezekiel maybe a year or so, so they haven't really been friends too long. There's a termite in this terrarium. Great job, Agneta. You have only looked at that termite like 4 times. Okay, you guys, let's talk about Agneta. So, Agneta is free from her husband, Preston. So, as you hopefully saw in the machinima at the beginning, Agneta eventually got fed up with Preston, so Preston originally seemed like a really good husband, but over time, he really did not enjoy the domestic life. He wasn't interested in the kids that much, even taking care of the farm. He kind of neglected that. He started entertaining a lot of women romantically, and overall was just kind of turning into a nasty person. And unfortunately during this time, like, Agneta doesn't really have any options. Like, she would be considered the property of her husband and expected to obey him, and even though he started getting physical with her, there's not a lot of options she had, but she felt like she couldn't stay with him either, so she kind of made this impulse decision to essentially run away in the middle of the night. She took Sybil and Dennis to the inn, and the innkeeper initially kind of questioned her, like, where's your husband? Like, why are you alone? And she told him she didn't have one. So he let her in, but he kind of realized the next day she actually did have a husband, and he essentially sussed out the entire situation. Heard from other townsfolk that her husband was kind of sleeping around, including with married women, which was definitely a problem because even though, like, women don't have a lot of rights at this time, their husbands definitely do. So the fact that Preston was being romantically involved with married women would have been seen as an infringement upon the husbands and kind of questionable behavior overall. So like they're gonna keep up appearances. Like Preston wants to save face with the town and he doesn't want to like admit anything about what happened. It just kind of would be humiliating for him and he doesn't want to risk any gossip spreading about him with anybody, especially married women, because that might get him in trouble. So he's kind of not happy that Agneta was able to run away, but despite it being humiliating for him, I don't think he actually cares that much that they're gone. And let me show you the inn a little bit. So there's the kitchen back here. There's the bar. I downloaded this from the gallery, so I cannot take credit for any of this, but I did update a few things. So there's some rooms where guests can stay the night, and then upstairs, this is where I had to add a couple things. So they have a little bathroom. Arn has his room. There's kind of a study area, and then he was nice enough to convert this room into a bedroom for Agneta and her kids to stay in. So they have quite a lot of space. I think Arn is happy for the company, even though he might not admit it. He's kind of gruff and kind of puts on a face of being like kind of stern, but he's so far like really good with the kids. So he is kind of welcoming them into his home, really. He knows Agneta really has no other options. So for now, they're gonna kind of keep up the story that Preston wanted Agneta to stay here and get a job. And that he's basically gonna take care of the farm, although who knows how that's gonna go when he's by himself. And you guys, I was noticing earlier when I was switching to Agneta's household that Drifa, one of Preston's mistresses, is heavily pregnant, and I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure this baby is Preston's. Just due to timing, like, I feel like it definitely has to be his. If that's the case, like, there's no, like, parental testing at this time anyway, but whether Drifa knows or not, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure this is Preston's baby, and if it is, that is probably not information that's ever gonna see the light of day, so I wanted to share that with you guys so that at least we know the secret. Drifa is about to have a baby, and I do not think that baby belongs to her husband, so that is some extra drama, some potential extra leverage that Agneta has against Preston. So very, very interesting things going on here. So I did not expect that to happen. Preston's been romancing a lady or two for a while and it hasn't happened yet, but it's probably only a matter of time. And speaking of pregnancies, Mari is ready to give birth to her and Richard's baby. So let's get her all set up upstairs. Let me change out this crib. Alright, we have a crate already. Let's have Brigit help out and Aldreda help out. They can keep Mari company. Last time she had a baby, she was all alone and probably terrified, so she definitely needs some extra support this time from the women. Even though Brigit's gonna take a nap, she definitely needs all the help she can get. Alright, you're doing good, Mari. You're doing so great. Alright, baby boy. Alright, so let's name him Benedict. Okay, and just the one baby. And what a beautiful baby boy. And Darifa is in labor. Alright, we're gonna do automatic delivery for her. So let's rock Benedict. And feed him. And we will need to do his rolls. Alright, so let's roll for little baby Benedict. So he needs to avoid 1, 5, 10, 15, and 20. Okay, and he got an 8, so he is good. And let's roll for Mom. So Mom needs to avoid a 1. No. No, Mari. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, and alright, and let's roll for Benedict's infant roll right away, because that's just 1 day later. So he'll need to avoid 12, 16, and 18 for that. Okay, and he got a 19. Okay. Oh, shoot. I am not sharing. Oh my gosh, you guys. I don't want to take it back, but he got, I don't want to take it back because I don't want to cheat like that, but Benedict got, I think, an 8. And then we got a 1 for Mari, which means Mari will die. And then for Benedict's infant roll, he got an 18. So he's good. So Benedict will make it through infant stage. However, Mari did not make it through labor. So, let's get her up here. Let's have Richard kind of visit her and the baby. We'll say she had a lot of additional bleeding, and so Richard, I want him to at least be able to say goodbye. Okay, so Mari and Richard are saying goodbye. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Mari. Okay, he just saw her. Oh my gosh. This is not how I wanted this episode to end. I hope the Grim Reaper shows up, because I think I'm gonna plead for her. Okay, here he is. Okay. Plead for Mari. Please, Grim, I have not asked you for pretty much anything so far. I've let you take a lot of my family members. Yes! Okay, Mari's gonna live. Alright, Mari has been brought back to life. Richard's impassioned pleas to the Grim Reaper must have worked. Okay. Yes, Mari, I'm so glad she's living. This man just saved your life. Oh my gosh. I need, like, the most passionate hug of your life. Because that's how I would feel. Let's talk about cold temperature. Isn't that... might be a little morbid, but... Alright, let's declare love publicly with Richard. She is like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Express fondness. Let's embrace. Wow. Okay, I feel better about not re-rolling now. Now that she gets to live, I'm so happy about that. And they finally have a baby who has survived the labor, so they have their first live child, which is so good. Very important for them. Have a deep conversation. I feel like Richard is so relieved that she lived. Like, so relieved. So I'm gonna leave this episode here, you guys. There was so much that happened. Please give the episode a like. Please subscribe if you want to see more of this. And drop me a comment letting me know what you think about everything that happened this episode. And I will see you guys next time.